You've seen this building a million times, right? The iconic columns, the south lawn, but what is actually going on inside those walls? Let's go behind the famous facade and take a real look inside one of the most powerful addresses on Earth.
You know, what we see from the outside? Well, that's just scratching the surface. The White House isn't just one building, it's a whole complex. It's kind of like a small city with its own unique geography, all designed for some very, very specific jobs. So the whole thing is really broken down into three main sections. You've got the East Wing, the Central Residence, and of course, the famous West Wing. Each part has a completely different purpose, and today we're going to explore all of them.
So here's the plan. We'll kick things off in the East Wing, just like an official guest would. Then we're going to tour the residence from the bottom all the way to the top, and finally we'll step into the powerhouse, the West Wing, before we wrap it all up.
All right, first up, the East Wing. Now, this is where guests officially enter for big events and parties. But it's not just a fancy entrance hall. It's also a serious office building, mostly for the First Lady and her staff.
Inside, it's a real hub of activity. You've got 2 floors of offices, but there are also a few surprises, like the garden room and the family theater. And get this, it's not just for watching movies. Presidents actually use this room to rehearse their big speeches before going live to the nation. How cool is that?
Okay, now let's head into the part of the building that everybody recognizes, the residence. This is the heart of it all. It's where history gets made, where world leaders are hosted, and, where the first family actually lives. We're going to do this tour vertically, starting from the very bottom and working our way up.
We're going to start way down in the sub-basements, which are like the operational core of the whole house. Then we'll pop up to the ground floor to see all the support services, then the grand state floor for all the official stuff, and finally the private second and third floors where the first family actually lives their life.
The ground floor is really the functional heart of the whole operation. It's like a beehive down there. You've got these formal rooms like the diplomatic reception room and the map room, which you see on TV a lot. But then you also have the main kitchens, offices for the Secret Service, and believe it or not, a flower shop and a carpenter shop.
And yes, the rumors are totally true. There really is a bowling alley. But the coolest part is where it is. It's just tucked away right underneath the grand steps of the North Portico. It's a perfect example of how they use every single inch of this place. Moving on up, we hit the first floor, also known as the State Floor. Now, this is the White House you see in the movies. We're talking about the huge East Room for massive events, the famous green, blue, and red rooms for receptions, the beautiful State Dining Room, and of course, the Grand Staircase, where so many presidents have made their iconic entrances.
Now, right above all that pomp and circumstance is the second floor. This is the real home. It's the first family's private sanctuary, with its own bedrooms, a dining room, and a kitchen, a world away from all the public business happening just one floor below.
And at the very top of the residence, you'll find the third floor. Think of this as the family's ultimate private retreat. The absolute best part is the solarium, or the sunroom, which is probably the most incredible private views of Washington, D.C. you could ever imagine.
Okay, time for our last stop, and it's a big one, the West Wing. If the residence is the heart of the White House, the West Wing is definitely its brain. It's the nerve center where the day-to-day business of the presidency actually happens.
Literally every square foot of the West Wing is packed with importance. On the ground floor, you've got the critical situation room. The first floor is what you always see on the news, the Oval Office, the cabinet room, the press briefing room. And upstairs on the second floor are the offices for the president's top advisors. And let's be absolutely clear about what the Situation Room is. It is not just a meeting room. It's a secure global command center from which the president can monitor intelligence and direct the entire United States Armed Forces anywhere on the planet. Okay, you're gonna love this bit of trivia. The room where all the reporters sit for the press briefing room? That space used to be a swimming pool. It was built for President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Just goes to show you how much the White House has changed over the years. And of course, we have to end our West Wing tour in what might be the most famous office in the entire world, the Oval Office. It is the symbolic and the functional heart of American power, and it's where the president spends most of their working day.
So when you take a step back and look at the whole picture, you realize the White House isn't just one thing. It's a private home, it's a living museum, and it's a high-stakes command center, all running at the same time under one roof. The big takeaway here is this incredible mix of functions. It's a home for a family, it's a public museum, it's a super high-pressure office, a military command post, and the nation's biggest stage for ceremonies. All at once. There's really no other building like it in the world.
And that's our tour. We've walked through offices, grand staterooms, private quarters. It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? With more than 200 years of history packed inside these walls, what other incredible stories are just waiting to be told?